In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I created this viral shorts creator. It automates the whole process from creating your audio, music, video, editing it, and actually uploading it for you. So the only thing you'll really need to do is prompt it to create what you want, and then it will have it up and running in a couple minutes. If you want to just get the template so you can improvise the prompt to create your own niche, I'll have it in my Discord community server. There's going to be a link to it in the description. Hope I see you there. Otherwise, I'll show you step by step how to create it in n8n as well. All right, here's some of the videos I generated a while ago.
Stretching before a workout improves flexibility and reduces the risk of injury. Cardio isn't just for weight loss, it strengthens your heart.
Yeah, my character
is vital for muscle repair and
my character is ripped capybara I had generated with ChatGPT, and then I just had Runway create the video. I'll show you guys how I did it step by step, but basically, as you can see, it uploaded it to YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can have it upload to different socials as well, but those are the three I just chose for now. Let's move on right into the tutorial then, so I can show you guys how to get this working. So yeah, back in n8n, we have 6 different sections. I'll have timestamps so you can jump around, but we'll go at this step at a time. So let's go to the prompt generation here. In my case, I have a Telegram trigger, and then this gets the message from Telegram, and then sends it to AI agent right here. This AI agent's prompt has like a description for the character I created, the ribbed capybara with the blue compressions and the headset, and then it generates a video based on that character and whatever my message was. Let's say I wanted to talk about the protein, like how much protein should a person have. The ribbed capybara might be drinking that might be drinking protein while explaining how much protein a person should have daily. So like right here, I also told it to summarize the concept in a natural spoken style, 5 seconds, and then that becomes the audio prompt. And then let's see here, the music isn't too important. I just had AI generate this for me and just put it in there based on my character. But this is where you're gonna spend most of your time on, especially if you get the template from my Discord server. Make sure you give it examples so that you can get your desired output, because it's really hard to get good outputs or consistent ones without examples. All right, so that's that. And right as we get that output, I have a code here which turns that into 3 different sections with JSON so that I can easily drag and drop into my other nodes. So this code was also AI generated. So this is like completely no code, so you can do all of this by yourself, like without having any knowledge of coding at all. And then this splits onto 3 different sections. Let's move on to the video generation then, because that's going to be the next part. And then for the video generation, it's going to connect to this edit field. I haven't named it yet, but what this field is just creating is a downloadable link to a Google Drive image that I have. This is the image that I generated with ChatGPT. I just saved it in Google Drive so that I can access it anytime. And then this is the way to create a downloadable link. You just have to do this part and then get the ID from the actual image that you want on Google Drive. So we're going to be using that in the Runway node. So this connects to the loop over items, which also connects to the video generator. It's looping through that video generator. So let me just go over the video generator, the Runway HTTP request here. It's going to be a post because we're sending information so that we can generate that video with a Runway. And this is going to be the endpoint. It's going to be image to video. And then on the headers, we're going to have to fill out is 2 fields. Authorization, this is where your key goes. So you're going to do bearer and then your actual key, which you just can copy from Runway when you create that. Make sure you copy it right away, because what Runway does is you can't really access that key anymore. You have to like create another one to actually get the key again if you don't copy it immediately when it gives you. And then you'll need to do a version here. I just did the 2024. And then on the body, you could do JSON or fields below. If you do fields below, this is what you're going to have to fill out. The model, I use Gen 3A Turbo. That's going to be the cheapest, I'm pretty sure. And prompt image is going to be the web content link we just created. So it's going to be grabbing that Google Drive image, and then it's going to be generating a video with that image. And then the prompt text, we're going to get it from the label. Remember how it created 3 different outputs? So it's going to be that video prompt right there. They'll just drag it onto the prompt text. Ratio, it's going to have to be 768 by 1280 or the other way around. Tried other sizes. It didn't work with Runaway. There might be some other ways to go around that. And then on duration 5 seconds is what I did. So this is going to loop over this node right here. And then once this is done, it waits for 90 seconds because it takes some time for that video to get generated. So this is just waiting for that to render. And then we'll get the video. This is going to get us a link. And this is a get method. So you're saying, hey, I just sent you that post earlier. Is it done? Can I grab that video now? Right? And then the endpoint for it is gonna be this runawayml.com v1 task, and then this you're gonna need to get the JSON ID generated from the video generator right here. Same thing here, authorization, Runaway version. You don't need to do any body because we're just grabbing that link. As you can see right here, if I go to that link, the video is generated. Right, so it's good there. And I also added if statement here just to make sure that the output exists. If it doesn't exist, I'm gonna have it loop over again so that it can generate that video because it might have failed. It's just another way of error checking. If it does exist, it's gonna download the video. And this is what I want you to really understand with n8n and HTTP requests, especially for content creation. There's basically going to be like 3 processes. It's going to be post, get, and then download. The download is also a get, but you're downloading the actual link. So post, you're sending that information so that it can generate that video for you. And then get, you're getting the link. And then the download is you're just grabbing that link and downloading it into n8n so that you can put it in other places. So once you download that, as you can see here, it's gonna grab that file right here. The way to download it is just do get, and then you don't need to fill out anything else. Just need to drag the link itself there so that it can download it into n8n. All right, and then right after downloading, we're gonna publicize this file. Which means we're going to be putting it in a cloud host so that we can send it in publicly, and then anyone can access it publicly. We need to do this because ShotStack needs a public file. This is the editing API that we're going to be using. So in my case, I'm using Supabase. Really simple to set up. If you want to use Supabase, this is the basic setup here. You're going to need to get your endpoint with your project ID and then the bucket name right here. And then what you're going to do is you'll need API key and authorization. Those are the 2 things you're going to need, which they're both going to be just your API key. But on the authorization, make sure you do bearer before the API key. And then when you're sending the body, you're going to need to make it a n8n binary file. And then it's just the name is going to be data here. We didn't really change it. That's the file we downloaded into n8n. And then once we do that, we're going to set the URL video so that ShotStack can access it. So it's going to be just the same URL we had, but like public. And then this key is going to be the bucket and then the file name, the path and the file name. So it's going to be the exact same. Just drag the JSON.key right here, right after the public. And then in my case, I did add numbers just so I can make it randoms. I was having issues with ShotStack generating the same video over and over again, and that fixed the issue. So you could do that if you're having the same issues. Otherwise, you should be fine with just json.key, which is the bucket slash path slash to the file name. And then, so that is the whole video generation. We got the link, and then we're just merging it so that we can get all three values before we edit it. So let me go over the music and audio generation before we move on to the editing then, right? And then for the music generation, it's going to be very similar to the video generation. The node, the label node is coming down here into the loop over item as well. This loop over item is looping with the generate music. I'm using PipAPI here, especially the A-step API. So this one's very cheap, so I just chose this, but you could do any of the other ones for the music. And the way to get the information to fill out for like the header and the body, you could just click Run API, scroll down, and then there's going to be a curl here, which you can just copy and then paste right into here. Import, you just paste that there. And then the only thing you'll really need to fill out is the API right here. You can grab that from right here on PipAPI. So you just like paste that in there. And then you might need to play around with this, like the duration, lyrics. And then on the style prompt, that's where you're going to drag the music prompt that the AI agent created. And that's like the whole thing for this node. It's very similar to the video generation. So once we do that, it's going to wait about 60 seconds. I think you could even do less for this one, but we'll wait for 60 seconds. And then it's going to get the music just like it did for get video. And then you'll do the same thing, slash tasks. All right. And then once that's done, it's going to do another if here. This if statement is also going to check if that audio URL is actually, if it actually exists. As you can see, the audio, it looks good. It exists. So it's going to move on to download music. Same process as downloading the video. So you're just going to do get and then grab the URL, just drag it down there, and it's going to download it into n8n. This is like the whole process with like API calls for like content generation. You're just posting, getting, and then downloading that file you get. You're also going to publicize this one into Supabase. So same thing, authorization and API key. Just fill those out, and then binary file, data, and then on here, music URL, same exact thing once again. Once you do that, that's gonna merge into here. And that's the whole music generation. It's a exact replica of like the video generation, just slightly different. And then on the audio is gonna be slightly easier. So let's move on to that. If we go into here, I'm using Fish Audio for the API key. This one is very cheap and it has a lot of audio, so I would definitely recommend this. I forgot which voice I used, but if you want to use a voice, all you really have to do is click this, actually go into it, and then click the three dots here, and then copy the model ID, and then you'll paste that into the reference ID here. The way to get this, the authorization model and the body is there is a curl for Fish Audio. You could have AI generate you one. Otherwise, you could just fill out this as well. So it's like text, reference ID, temperature, and top underscore P, top P. And then this automatically gets the Fish Audio actually. Even though it's a post, it's slightly different, so it automatically downloads it into n8n. So you don't have to do any of the other error checking or anything like that. The only thing you'll need to do is publicizing this file. So you'll send it to Supabase. Once you do that, you'll get the URL from Supabase for audio, and then merge into it. So that's how you generate the video, music, and audio all together, and then merge them here. And then I'll show you how to edit it now. after we do that, we're gonna need to do one more thing before we edit it with ShotStack, which is aggregating those merged data. If we don't put it under one data, it's gonna generate 3 separate videos, which we don't want. So in ShotStack, so the API, the rest endpoint is gonna be this. You're just gonna need to do 3 fields for the headers. x-api.key, so that's where you put your API key there. And then you'll accept, and content type will just be the same, application/JSON. And then most of the editing is gonna be happening in the body right here. This is where everything gets edited, and you need to make sure that it doesn't have any typo or anything wrong with it. Otherwise, it's gonna say bad request all day long, which did happen to me. So on here, I just dragged the music URL. And then the volume, I made it really low because in my case, I don't want it like high. And then on the video, I did a length of 7, even though it's 5 seconds of duration, because the audio can be like 5 to 7 seconds sometimes. Like, so I just set it as 7 seconds so that it actually keeps running it. And then output format. Yep. So you'll find this in the template, but you need to make sure that you don't have any typo or anything wrong with this. Otherwise, it's just going to say bad request. It's really case sensitive. So once we do that, we're going to render it. So it's going to take about 90. I just set it as 90 seconds. That's a safe spot. So just do 90 seconds of waiting for that editing. After that's done, it's going to get the final video. So same endpoint, just do / and then the ID. Once you do that, you'll need to do just the API key right there. Once that's done, you want to download that video, final video. So just grab the URL and get it, because we're going to upload it into Google Drive. And that's where it automatically uploads it into the different socials. We're going to be using a different, or we're going to be using Repurpose for that. I'll show you. But first, upload it into Google Drive. So you'll download that data, then upload it to Google Drive. You can name it whatever you want. All right, so that is the whole n8n workflow right there. Like I said, I'll have the template there, but let me show you how Repurpose automatically uploads it to the different socials for you. Create a Google Drive folder, which that video is going to get uploaded into. And the moment that video is uploaded into there, what Repurpose does is it automatically uploads it to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So I don't have to do anything else at all. There is other ways, but this is probably the easiest way, and Repurpose seems pretty cheap. So if you want, you could check it out. Otherwise, you could also use Potato or other softwares. With Repurpose, all you need to do is just click like create new workflow. There's source and destination for Repurpose. So you're going to select a source. In my case, it was Google Drive. And then you can just click your account. And then if you want like a specific folder, which I would recommend. And then destination. So there's a lot of them. There's like Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky. There's a lot of destinations. So I just set it up for YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, but you could set up for way more. But that is how you create a video automatically just from a prompt and upload it without doing anything at all. And you can do as many as you want, as long as you like upgrade for your Repurpose account, obviously. I appreciate you guys watching to the end. If you learned something new or had fun watching this video, please make sure to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I'll be coming up with new videos soon. And if you want to get that template, make sure to join the Discord server that I have down in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you next video.